Hey everybody, this is Jamie Bateman with Labrador Lending, and today I wanted to discuss 5 exit strategies that you can employ in your note investing journey and how you can profit from each one of these. First one, borrower starts paying again. The investor can now either hold this reperforming note for cash flow or sell it to another investor for a profit. So this is one that you may not have a ton of control over, but just like you can't control when a non-performing note goes, when a performing note goes non-performing, you can't always control when a non-performing note goes performing. So something may have changed in the borrower's life or their circumstances. Maybe they got married, maybe they inherited some money, maybe they got a better job or got a job, and they just start paying again. So that can be highly profitable. You can sell this loan as a reperformer, or you may be able to just hold it for cash flow, sell a partial on it, all kinds of things you can do. So that's exit strategy number 1. Number 2, the investor and the borrower agree to a loan modification. We've done a bunch of these and they've been profitable. So in this circumstance, new terms are often more affordable for the borrower, increasing the odds of the loan becoming reperforming. So a lot of times what we've done with our loan mods is we've increased the principal balance and recaptured some or all of the arrears that the borrowers owe. And oftentimes we'll extend the term of the loan. Many times we'll decrease the interest rate, the coupon rate on the note, and lower the monthly payment. So the whole point is to work with the borrower and get them back on track, get them performing. So there are many ways that this can be profitable for a note investor. You've bought a non-performing asset at maybe 50 cents on the dollar, and maybe now you can sell that reperformer at 75 to 90 cents on the dollar. Or maybe you just, again, hold this note for cash flow. Number 3, the borrower refinances. Again, when you're buying a non-performing asset, you're probably buying that at 40 to 60 cents on the dollar. And when the borrower refinances, that's really very profitable. So let's say you buy a note that has a $50,000 principal balance. You buy that for $30,000, and the borrower refinances, pays off the entire loan, $50,000 plus. You can see how that's profitable. So some of these lower dollar assets, it may be a little less likely that the borrower can qualify for a new loan, especially today given the restrictions on bank financing. But if you can get your borrower hooked up with a bank or credit union or even a private investor, private lender, and get the borrower to refinance, this can be an excellent way to go. Number 4, the investor and the borrower agree to a short sale. So this is when the property is sold while the borrower still owns it and the borrower has debt forgiven and the investor profits. So what happens here is a third party actually buys the property, and you as the investor have to approve this, the sale amount and the terms of this transaction. The borrower is walking away from the debt, from the property, and kind of getting a fresh start. The lender does lose some of that principal balance most likely. So the short sale is when the property value is less than the principal balance, less than the total payoff of what's owed on the loan. You're not seeing as many of these lately because everybody seems to have equity these days, and we'll see what happens. These were a lot more common after the crash of 2008, when housing prices actually drove the downturn. If we do have a downturn here in the next 1 to 2 years, we'll see how that plays out. But right now, I can't remember the exact stat, but I think it's, 50% of borrowers have at least 25% equity in their home, something like that. Don't quote me on that. But fact is, there's a lot of equity sitting in these properties right now. So most likely short sales are not going to be in play for a little while across the board. You'll probably see more bankruptcies. But this is one way to go where instead of taking the property back as the note investor, you're actually just not even dealing with that REO. You're just a third party agrees to buy this property, and so maybe you're still profiting. Maybe you purchased the note for $50,000, borrower owes $125,000, and you're selling the property for $80,000. You're still making a profit. It's good for the borrower, and it may be a good deal for the third party property buyer as well. Number 5, the investor takes over the property. So this could come in any number of ways. It could be a deed in lieu or foreclosure or forfeiture, depending on the state, depending on if this is a land contract or a traditional note and mortgage. And then at this point, you as the investor, as the note investor, you have options. You can sell, you can rent, you can sell and own or finance. You still have many options, and that's one of the things I love about note investing is you've almost always got options. You're not typically boxed into a corner. So these are just 5 of many ways that note investors can profit from non-performing notes. Don't get me wrong, you can lose money too, but hopefully this adds a little bit of color for the newer note investors out there who may not quite understand why you would buy an asset where the borrower is not paying or they're years behind. Much of this is doable because you're buying these notes at a considerable discount, and so that puts you in the position to head down the path of one of these 5 exit strategies. I hope you found this video valuable. For more free content, head over to LabradorLending.com. Hit me up at BatemanJames@LabradorLending.com. And as my kids say, don't forget to smash that like button.